Hi everyone, it's Athena and welcome back. It's the 21st of July, 2020. Today's word is about desire. The intention that we place upon the desires that we so speak of or hope for, wish for, and pray for are actually frivolous. Why? Because we are looking into the future and not the present. Because the present is actually, the present is the gift, right? The gift of the present time. Living in the present moment is the gift. It is the desire to be, have, do something that is outside of that realm is frivolous, is the word that I'm hearing. Because obviously it may not come tomorrow. We may not have tomorrow for that desire to be placed upon us or to be wished or granted. Okay, so that was the meditation for today. All right, we have, which is beautiful, the King of Swords. Now this King of Swords sits on his throne with all his he's very, this guy is very masculine, right? He's so masculine. He abides by the rules of his mind, so to speak, right? Why did I say it that way? Because he's hard to budge, right? His beliefs and his intentions have been, this guy is the guy that says, we've been doing it this way for 30 years, right? And to change his mind, you have to dig deep into his heart. You have to get to his heart. Okay. And it's not that it's not possible, because of course it is. We're only human. So this King of Swords could be Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, has, excuse me, wow, I lost my voice, has been doing their inner work, right? This is inner work, knowledge, gaining knowledge through the experiences of life. Someone's guiding this. This King of Swords is being guided by also spirit guides, higher self, ancestors, to see the light, to get enlightened, to become enlightened. Okay, and we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So it's a work in progress. It is something that is being worked on. It's an ongoing progress. It's not something that you can just say, oh, okay, now it's done. It's not done. Enlightenment doesn't happen. First of all, it doesn't happen overnight. And also it takes arduous time and effort. It is an arduous job. Why am I saying it weird? But it came out that way. So that's what it is. Here's the sun, see? So we are working and experiencing life through different eyes, the vision of happiness. And, the sun illuminates everything that we're being guided toward, to see, to feel, to take in, to experience. This is the guidance. It's not so much, okay, so in X amount of time, I'm going to be, enlightened. That doesn't happen. But here is the truth, is this king wants to be shown the way forward, for sure. Okay? He wants to be shown the way forward. Yes, that's a yes. celebration. See now how the Three of Pentacles was reversed. So this king is focusing on himself, not so much how much money he can make right now. It's focus on yourself and what makes you happy and what brings a smile to your face. And how can we open your heart? That's what the universe is saying. How can we open this King of Swords heart? How can we break the chains, right? Break the boundaries and limitations. So the three significant, which is the Trinity in this case, because we have the Hermit. Look at that. And it's close. The breakthrough's close, but it's not here yet. He's close. So this King's enlightenment is close. It's happening soon. He just has to get back on his feet. He probably needs to take a rest from what he has already experienced, right? He's feeling good. He's becoming more enlightened to a higher path for sure. His breakthrough is happening, but he's been through like 9 months. And clearly 9 months is important. Why? Because 9 months is the time that a woman, has the birth, or the child in her womb is 9 months. It's similar to this breakthrough that in this particular case, maybe even 9 years, okay? 9 is significant. All numbers are significant. They have meaning. Every number has meaning. Every number has angelic meaning, okay? So this King of Swords has been working towards becoming extremely enlightened and going through this process. The breakthrough is coming soon, but he's at the 9. He's not at the 10 yet, right? That will happen. Here's the 9. Is this the 9? Yeah, see, another 9. He's definitely at the brink of discovery. So, oh my God, it's beautiful. Because this is reversed. This is upright. So he's resting and recuperating and recovering, right? And here is where he's not losing sleep over what hasn't happened or what he had to go through. There was a time then that this King of Swords was losing sleep over it. And, right? And this is all about discovery of his heart. This is the heart chakra, right? There it is. It's the Ace of Cups. And having it be reversed is the process in which the King of Swords has gone through, right? To reach almost the pinnacle of the 10. We're at the 9. So the breakthrough's happening, like obviously, in 1 more month, maybe longer, who knows? It could be significant. It could be a year. It could be a week. Do you know what I'm saying? But we're at the 9. Okay, so he's working on that because of who he showed himself as to the world. This was the King of Swords was someone who actually is depicted of living on the beliefs of, this is how we do it. It's always been like this, very regimented, very stringent king, right? Very hard to get. And that's funny that in the beginning, what we talked about is the fact that to get to the progression of a King of Swords is getting deep down into his heart. And that's what exactly is happening. And this is just showing how he's getting to this breakthrough, how we're getting there, right? We have, right? Focusing, he got to a point, this king got to a point where he said, I have to start focusing on me because the things around me are showing me that they're not where I want them to be. Where I want to be is something I have to work on. And that's what happened. He turned this around. The 7 of Swords is reversed because he realized that living in the past and in the way of old belief systems was not getting him anywhere in terms of success and victory in his life, just in general. And this is the progression, working on the heart, getting to the heart of the matter, which is the cup, that Ace of Cups, and realizing and coming to the realization of taking the responsibility. More importantly here, this is about taking full responsibility for the fact that you are needing to change your ways, so to speak. And, usually and typically it is something that happens to, those who are very, this is how we've done it for the last 30 years. You know what I mean? And that's how if you get to a point where you're ready to hit rock bottom because your ways, your beliefs are not working out, that's when someone decides that, it's time to start working on self. And I think this king has also been guided by his higher self to start his journey through the process of. Now, I'm not saying that this King of Swords was working on himself, because the journey is working on self, all right? Overall, the journey is working on self. That's what it means, right? So this is just the intention of bringing the Hermit in, is saying he's being guided, and whether he knows it or not, he's needing to work on how he grew up. Maybe father issues also here, I just heard. Father issues of how he was brought up. The King of Swords was brought up in a certain way in the dynamic of, don't let anyone get too close to your heart, right? And that's what's happened. And through the pitfalls, the downfalls, and the things that have occurred since there, or let's say more like not occurred, right, for this king, it has presented obvious issues in his life where he had to he had to go back to the drawing board, recalibrate, right? And maybe these June, July, with all of the full moons, the eclipses, and now with this new moon in Cancer, he's realizing that the divine masculine is realizing, well, geez, how am I gonna like better my life? It's been with me for so long, and I need to change it. So 9 months for having the birth of a child in the mother's womb, 9 months, 9 years of whatever it took. It could have taken 9 lifetimes. It doesn't matter. What matters is there's a breakthrough, and that's what matters. The number's not as, you can see he's so close to the breakthrough. It's going to happen. He's just tired. He's fighting for, it's not an easy, it is arduous. And I know I'm saying it wrong, but it's a very intense journey. Let me just get a few cards. See, he's gained the wisdom and knowledge now. He's looking back at his childhood, the house that he grew up in, the beliefs and what he learned as a child have changed, have caused him to rethink, right? He's the thinker. And it could very well be that the loyalty that he has or has lacked in relationship was in question here, right? The loyalty of, how loyal are you to yourself if you continue to do what you were doing yesterday and not bettering yourself? How much loyalty does that take for one to just continuous? You know how many people just continuously go year after year, day after day, doing the same old pattern, same old thing, hoping that something would change? Well, you can't change unless you, at the core of your being, right? You have to start with yourself. The world outside will continue to fight and be angry and etc. The outrage and whatever chaos and drama is happening out there, it starts in here. It starts right here. That's where it starts. So it does not change, and nor will it until you see things differently, until you realize and you finally gain the wisdom that, oh my God, I've been doing it. I've been doing something wrong all along. So this is a 5. So you see that's when the change started happening for the King of Swords, realizing that day by day by day, nothing was coming into, living that empty, searching for what is going to fulfill one's needs. And now look at, wow, that's amazing. All right, so this is the progression. It's not a clarification, nor did we ask for a clarification. But now we have, this king has understood the values and beliefs that he was raised with, and you see it's masculine, and he's wearing a violet cloak, which is the 7th chakra, Saint Germain, realizing that the spiritual path is the one that will help to open up the heart chakra. And here it is. The heart chakra has opened up completely, and now we're on path. The breakthrough has happened. We're on point. I love this. Oh my God, this is great. Look at this. Freedom at last. Number 7, as you see. The freedom to now have in your life, once you've achieved an understanding of how happiness lies within, for sure. I mean, there's no doubt. Let's get one more, because it's just so good, right? There was the conflict. This was the ultimate conflict. And I'm going to tell you, because I am an air sign, sun and moon is air for me. And this is clearly an issue that all air signs have, whereby they lead with their, obviously, mind, their thoughts and beliefs that don't and haven't worked. They need to be more compassionate, right? You need to open your heart chakra so that you can have that beautiful compassion and love of self. And that's where everything changes then. And you're free. You've freed yourself from what? Your ego. Hello. That's your ego. So this king has freed himself of his own ego, by which opening his heart chakra and just literally told his ego to take a seat. I mean, how beautiful is that? He said, listen, not today, not today, not any day, because once the heart chakra is opened, that's where you can't go back. It's like an upgrade, right? It's a huge, now the freedom is to follow your heart and to make conscious decisions and choices that only allow for the love, a true love that is only freedom. To love and to be loved is a freedom-based love, not an egoic-based love, as we had here. So that's the freedom that one gets when you work on yourself. That's what you receive. And it takes time. For sure. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to have a lot of strength and endurance and forge ahead. It is arduous. It is very much the path of a survivor. When you can tell your ego, no more, right? Because my heart rules. My heart is open and I'm ready. And then the ego has to take a seat. Why? Because the ego has to listen to the heart. The heart of the matter is where the truth lies. And now he gets it. It's great. It's just great. And you don't have to be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, okay? but I only mentioned it, well, because it's obvious, but also mentioning it because many signs, many elements utilize their logic and their ego to make decisions, right? Misuse of power. Hello, you see it everywhere. Okay, let's get one of the Whispers of Love cards for this reading. Do something for someone else. Give your attention to someone else. Well, there it is. How do we open our heart? We give love to others, whether it's to the animals that we have, right? Whether it's to children who provide that innocence, right? Who give us who are innocent, right? Because when you open up your heart chakra, you are childlike. And the circle of life, and I'm going to close with this, the circle of life, one can only enter the gates of heaven, let's just say, as above, so below, right? One can only enter the gates of heaven when you have reached the full cycle of life and returned back to the innocence of child. Have a great day.